this life I cannot change. It is deep off in the main.
What is up, my fellow hip-hop heads and music lovers in general? My name is G-Benz and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to the second upload for today, the final review I got to do for Special Request Thursdays today. So let's get right into it. For this video, folks, we are going back to the late 80s. Yeah, late 80s. Because for this video, I am reviewing the second studio album by the New Kids on the Block. And this album is titled Hangin Tough. Now, let me just say real quick that I have never ever heard a single New Kids on the Block song. Like I have never like heard their music. I have never given them a chance at all. But I was always aware that they existed. And no, it wasn't because of that new It movie that came out like last year or 2017. I don't exactly remember when the new It movie came out, but you know, around 2017, when they had the little New Kids on the Block reference, that wasn't the first time I heard of them. As you all know, I am a very, very big Eminem fan. And if any of you have been fans of Eminem, like since the beginning, since his old school shit, then you guys know just the fucking shade this dude threw at the New Kids on the Block at some point. You know, it was pretty funny. Well, obviously it's not funny, but it's like, you know, it was kind of like funny. Like at the time, it was funny to a lot of people. Well, I guess it's more funny now because like people are just like, who cares? But I'm pretty sure at the time a lot of like New Kids on the Block fans were like, this motherfucker is a douchebag. But you know, if you all know what I'm talking about, it's a little line that Eminem says called "The New Kids on the Block suck a lot of dick, boy girl screw make me sick," and it's like, I don't understand. Like he obviously said it as a joke, but it's like, you know, you never know. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's where I knew the New Kids on the Block from. So after listening to this album though, like all the way through, it's only like, I don't know, like maybe 40 minutes. I don't tell you entirely remember, you know, what it was called or how much it was or how long it was. Sorry. But you know, after listening to this album all the way through, I gotta say that although this is the kind of music I typically like don't listen to in my spare time, you know, I can understand why a lot of people did like them. You know, it's, to me personally, it's just like too popish. But you know, it doesn't like necessarily like make it bad because there were like a few songs that were like, you know, pretty memorable. You know, pretty good. But you know, I can understand why people did really like the New Kids on the Block. You know, first of all, these dudes were like really, really fucking young and like living out their dreams. You know what I mean? Also about that whole age of the New Kids on the Block. Can somebody like tell me how old these dudes were when they fucking like when they started out? Because by looking at the album cover of this album, and you guys will see it at the end during like my little outro, but when I was looking at the album cover of this album, I was like, bro, like how old were these fucking dudes? Like they low key look like me back in elementary when I first found out where fucking babies came from. So it's like, I don't know, it was pretty funny. But you know, the New Kids on the Block, they're like, you know, they were just a bunch of dudes, you know, having fun, you know, like making music that they really like, but also trying to like relate to a lot of people. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of like teenage girls had, you know, these guys up on their fucking walls, you know, in the late 80s. You know, I'm sure a lot of girls were like fucking like crying over them when they saw them live. They were like probably like crying over them whenever they dropped a new album. Also, I find it kind of inspiring how before this they dropped a debut studio album. I don't know what it was called, but they dropped a debut studio album that was apparently supposed to be their first and only album that they were ever gonna drop, and then they somehow managed to like convince the label to, you know what, fuck it, let's make some more music. And you know, this album is considered like their breakthrough album, you know, the one that got them like up there. So you know, like it's kind of inspiring, you know. You know, they mostly made a lot of songs about, you know, love and shit, which is which were like pretty good. You know what I mean? It was, you know, at the time I feel like it was okay for like guys to like make songs about love and like, you know, like their feelings to like a certain girl. um you know, I feel like it was like more acceptable back then than it is now. You know, they were like making a lot of like songs about, you know, just like some pretty sad love songs. You know, they were mostly about having fun. You know, don't get me wrong. They have a lot of songs where they have fun and all that shit. But I feel like the love songs is like what like wins them for me. You know what I mean? It's like they're pretty good. You know, I feel like when people listen to the New Kids on the Block, like the first of all, like when they listen to New Kids on the Block, they are reminded of like, you know, the like old school and like iconic sounds that like reminds you of the late 80s, because this is exactly like how I feel about this. um and then I feel that secondly, when people listen to New Kids on the Block, that it's the reason why people say, um I was born in the wrong generation for love. Because like, hey, if you listen to these love songs, like they are like honest, they're real, they're raw, they're like full of emotion and shit. It's like they were like the prime example of how a man should treat a woman, and how a man should talk to a woman, and how a man should feel. You know, how it's okay for a man to like feel emotions, to express emotions, to like, you know, not have to be some big tough like hard dude. You know what I mean? I feel like if if like a boy band like that try to make music like the New Kids on the Block right now in today's world, I feel like a lot of people would like fucking like make fun of them. Like, can you imagine that? Like them trying to make fucking songs like this. I feel like fucking Charlemagne the God and Joe Budden and DJ Academics would be roasting the fuck out of these dudes at once. You know, like, these motherfuckers are so soft. Like, what the hell am I listening to? It's like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, not a lot of people would like be into them as much as they were in the late 80s. But overall, I feel like anybody can go back to this album and, you know, you not only feel like nostalgic of the 80s, but just, you know, like vibe to it. You know what I mean? It's honestly like it isn't bad. It's pretty good. Like I said, it's not the kind of music I would listen to in my spare time. Um, but you know, I didn't think it was bad. Like, I think it was good for what it was. I think my favorite song on the album is probably a song called "I Remember When," because it's fucking, whew, it's fucking sad. It fucking brought up memories and shit. I was like, ugh, like, where the fuck? I don't want to be in my feelings right now. I want to like get away from that shit for a while. Um, but overall, I think it was a good album, and you know, think anybody can enjoy it. And you know, props to them for having such a like successful album, because like that pretty much like boosted them up in their career in the music industry. Um, so with that being said, uh, hope you guys enjoyed my review. Follow me on Instagram down below as always. DM me for requests. What else do you want me to review? Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Um, Go ahead and follow the New Kids on the Block on Instagram. Fuck, I always do this without like making sure they actually have an account. I will see if the New Kids on the Block have an Instagram account. If not, then don't follow them. But if they do, go ahead and follow them down below. Yeah, I'm sorry. I need to get better at that. This album was requested by by my buddy. Her name is Desiree. You know, thanks for the request, girl. Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you enjoyed it. Um, so yeah, with that being said, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to stay happy. These are